Pour my drink, my bad, y'all.
Tasty beverage.
It's not.
I like it. That's all that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in that technical rain between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
Oh, no echo this week? This weekend heard.
It's your boy, Mr. Petty.
One more.
I don't got to speak to y'all. Y'all know who I am.
You already know what it is.
Thank you guys for joining us here once again on Blerds and Whiskey Live. We got a great show, as always, lined up for you. So let's get off started with what we're drinking this week. I am, of course, revisiting the Jameson Orange, which I have dubbed my favorite drink. I've dubbed it as my favorite drink, so I've thoroughly been enjoying it. But I'm drinking it straight. What are you guys drinking?
I'm drinking Crown Royal with cranberry juice. Finish off the...
No rocks.
Yeah, well, yeah, on the rock.
My bad. Sorry. Is it my turn?
No, I'm actually about to go. What I'm drinking is something that you all will have to tune in on Blerds and Whiskey Thirsty Thursdays, which is coming up soon. Rick and I just filmed our first couple episodes. So yeah, if you want to know what this is, stay tuned. But it's good.
My turn now.
Yes, it is.
All right, so I decided to be black as fuck today and drink box wine. That's what I'm drinking today. It is a sangria box wine. Thank you. Moving on.
It's a bag of wine. It's like an IV bag full of wine. That in my veins. 4 cc's of wine.
So this week I was at the gym getting a nice little lift in, and at one point a weight, I don't know how it came flying across the room, but it hit me in the back of the head, and I woke up in a junkyard of sorts. We appeared to be in Los Angeles or some part of Watts or something like that. But I was in a junkyard, and everything had a very West Coastian feel to it. And I met an old man who had these suspenders, and his skin had a reddish hue to it. He was also joined by his son, who had an afro and this really big handlebar mustache. It was inordinately thick for somebody in their 20s. And these two were arguing the whole time. They were fighting back and forth. And the old man would call his son Big Dummy often, over and over again. He just kept calling him Big Dummy. It was pretty funny. And then there was also this woman there who appeared to be a pit bull walking on his hind legs upright in a dress. Her and the old man didn't get along, and they would constantly go back and forth. But while I was sitting there talking to him, I asked him, I was like, what do you drink to pass the time by? What do you drink to help keep the edge off? And the old man told me Ripple. And when I came to back at the gym with a bunch of people crowded around me, I woke up and I had a bottle of Ripple in my hand. So this week on the show, I'm drinking Ripple.
Banana. Okay. I'm at a loss.
Okay.
We can hurt.
I was say, were you having a heart attack at the same time? Was the big one? I'm coming for you, Elizabeth.
I'm coming, baby. All righty. Church announcements. Hers Blerds. Be sure to like, share, subscribe on my YouTube page. I give you great content every week, so go and check it out. So we got a lineup of conventions coming up, guys. So for starters, we got CastleCon, February 18th through the 20th at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center. For more information, go to castlecon.com. We got HBCU Con. That's going down April 29th through May 1st at Bowie State University. Tickets start at $15. For more details, go to hbcucon.org. Awesome Con. June 3rd through the 5th. That's at the Washington Convention Center. Tickets start for the whole weekend pass at $85. For more information, go on to awesome-con.com. And of course, the Mecca, BlerdCon, July 8th through the 10th at the Hyatt Regency Crystal City. Full weekend passes start at $65. For more details, go on to blerdcon.com. Also, I heard that Orlando Jones is slated to be there because the whole entire theme is homecoming. Why not get the band director of one of our favorite movies? What's the name of it? Drumline. So yeah.
How you gonna say one of our favorite movies and not remember the name?
I'm on a roll and I'm just like, fuck, what the hell? Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. All right, so it's gonna be a big weekend. It's been a big week for Snoop Dogg. For starters, he's gonna be performing at the Big Game halftime show today. And he also dropped the album. But here's the big news: he acquired Death Row Records, which is ironic because Suge Knight pretty much left him for broke. And 20 years later, he ended up acquiring the whole entire thing. What's your thoughts on that?
Is it going to be called Death Rizzle?
I mean,
I'm just curious to see where he gets with the act. Him acquiring that. Does he get any masters back for that? I'm just wondering what comes along with that purchase. So time will tell, I guess.
Does he get his masters? Does he? That's a hell of a come up. Snoop is everywhere now. He's in advertisements. He's a true mogul. Like he's doing. I wonder how much he's worth.
Not as much as you think.
A couple of grams.
Oh man, and this one is this next topic. Well, next church announcement is a touchy subject. Nelly and Lil Fizz decided to show off their stuff to the internet. Rita, I'm just gonna let you take care of that one because you got the juice on this one. So
look, all I'm going to say is let Nelly live. He obviously did it, I think, as a mistake. Now, Little Fizz, sir, you should never charge anybody to see what I saw. And that's all I'm going to say. That should have been, you should have paid us to actually look at it. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say.
So you're saying he lived up to his name, Lil Fizz?
Yes, Little Fizz is definitely little and fizzling. Thank you.
So what you're saying is he's no Mr. 3850.
Definitely not.
Ain't nobody gonna get with you.
He should be giving people 3850 to talk about it. That's what he should be doing. Because no.
So wasn't Lil Fizz the reason why B2K kind of broke up?
So April, who is Omarion's baby mama, was loving the crew. And she loved Omarion at one point in time. And then she started loving on Little Fizz, which maybe he eats the box good. Because I'm just not understanding. I'm just not. I mean, maybe so that's where his talent lies,
For those of us who are not familiar. I'm curious. So you said all the right words to say that it ain't good. So he has an OnlyFans?
He has an OnlyFans, yes.
And
I think the thing with OnlyFans is you're not supposed to screenshot stuff and show it, right? Correct?
Yeah.
I don't know how OnlyFans works. So maybe there was somebody who asked for a refund after saying that bullshit and she didn't get it. And that is why she was like, "Oh no, I'm screenshotting this and I'm putting you on Twitter." Twitter is where it's at though. Twitter will give you everything you never asked for and more. So I feel like if you don't have a Twitter, even if you just use it to troll, open up a Twitter account just so that you can see, because I had to go to Twitter multiple times this week. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't post a damn thing, but I was on it.
Only thing I'm going to say about the Nelly situation was Ashanti's happy. That's all that matters.
So what? But I have issue with them.
What?
Say what?
Nelly's is going through a real dilemma, huh?
No.
Like people keep saying that he accidentally. You got to go through like 3 steps to post something on Instagram.
Yeah, I mean that's why.
How do you accidentally leak that? Like you did that on purpose.
So I don't know if y'all
Maybe
remember.
he has a new song for a Tip Drill Part 2 coming out, and he wanted to promote it or something.
It must be
BET Uncut. I'm
I'm
circumcised.
just saying, like maybe that's what he was doing. I don't know, but it makes sense to me.
Y'all remember when they changed the format of like uploading pictures live, or so for some reason, like when you go to like live and the camera roll instantly pops up, and a lot of people thought for a hot second that certain pictures were already posted without their permission. Yeah, I think that might have happened. I mean, in his case, that might have happened. He might have just fat thumbed it. He's like trying to. I don't know. I'm not making excuses. Apparently it was taken down within seconds, but all you need is 1 second up for it to be up for people to start screenshotting and. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was up longer than 10 seconds.
I mean, I don't know exactly
because the video was longer than 10 seconds.
Was it a video or was it a picture?
It was a video.
Because they were saying that the video was up for a minute.
Oh, I thought it was a picture because a video that takes a while to upload unless he got like some like super files.
Somebody giving him some special attention.
Or was it on his page? Somebody, whoever be like following Nelly, let us know the tea, because I don't know if it was in his stories or if it was on his page.
What's the next announcement?
So Keith Lee is all elite. He had his first matchup this weekend, this Wednesday. What'd you guys think of it?
Congratulations to him. He's back working. I mean, he's a top tier star. He's going to get work in the wrestling spaces, in the wrestling businesses, regardless. And AEW may be just a place where he can get some shine. I mean, they have a lot of talent, yes, and he can get lost in the shuffle as they grow. But I think that he's a standout enough star to make an impact in AEW.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I hate the internet fans. Shortly after Keith Lee was released, and he kind of made like some issues or discrepancies known about that he had with WWE, people were calling him a complainer, entitled. They were giving him the blues about like him just voicing some frustrations about the WWE. While meanwhile, John Moxley literally like sets buries the company, but he's praised for standing up for himself. So that's a whole separate subject. But then as soon as Keith Lee debuts on AEW, all of a sudden those same people are like, yay, Keith Lee, future world champion, blah blah blah, back where he belongs. And then some people were like, oh, he looks a little slower than he used to be. His health issues. The dude almost died from COVID complications. He got fired, got married, and then debuts. And everybody's like, oh, his leapfrog is a little low. I'm like, yo, if y'all don't, this is why I hate the internet.
Been sitting on the shelf basically for a year and a half, and not really actually getting any work. Like you said, COVID complications, but then everybody wants to be critical of it. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I hate wrestling fans. I really wish people would take a step back and stop putting themselves into shit and actually look at the situation for what it is. And maybe stop casting doubt and shame on people constantly because you feel a certain type of way about something, because you feel entitled to protect some shit that really hasn't given you anything except for a little bit of enjoyment and entertainment. You don't owe Vince McMahon your life because you enjoy watching his company. You can be critical of certain things, especially a company with the track record of WWE. And honestly, you can even be critical of AEW because some of their practices that they've been partaking in here as of late aren't the best. So it's okay to be critical of shit. You can be critical of things that you love. People can be critical of it. Their experience wasn't your experience.
I mean, Daniel Bryan said it best. These fans are fickle. So, but moving on. Amazon drops a 3-part documentary called Fat Tuesdays. This one is in the words of Anthony Anderson, Tiffany Haddish, Steve Harvey, Regina King, and more. Fat Tuesday tells the unbelievable story of how one man, Guy Torrey, moved mountains to launch an all-black comedy night at the Comedy Store. It started off as an experiment in the 90s in Los Angeles, and then turned into the breeding ground for today's greatest comedians evaluating Black voices to have their turn on the stage. They had a laundry list of just big names. Like you had, what's her name? Tashina Arnold on there. You had, go ahead, Rick. Just go ahead, man.
No.
Great.
Let's backtrack because you forgot to ask somebody their opinion on the last topic.
My apologies.
Rita, would you like to contribute about Keith Lee and his joining AEW?
No,
Fair enough.
we've already gone way too far, so it's all good. Go ahead, just talk about Fat Tuesday.
I saw the first 2.5 parts of the episode of the series. I thought it was really descriptive, telling about how the whole entire Robin Harris, he pretty much paved the way for it, and then his untimely death, and then back it up with the Rodney King hearing that just pretty much started off how the whole entire comedy scene was, because a lot of that trauma dealing with it, and you had a lot of these comics using that trauma as trying to keep it funny. So, Rita, I know you said that you looked at it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was instructional, especially with Guy Tori. Like, Guy Tori is a comedian, but you didn't know, like, he was the one who basically put big names like Kevin Hart, JB Smooth, sorry, Earthquake, Chris Tucker. Like, you didn't realize he was the one that put all of those big name comedians like on his back to give them a platform to be able to book those movies and even at the expense of himself, because one spoiler alert is they were considering Guy Tori for The Fifth Element, and Chris Tucker came that day and slayed the stage, and they ended up giving it to him to play that part. And I think that was probably the best casting. Can you imagine Guy Tori playing that role?
No.
So it's like, okay. But yeah, I didn't realize how instrumental he was, like, to all of the big name Black comedians. So
yeah, I mean, and looking at a little bit of it and looking at the trailer for it, it looks like, essentially what Guy Tori was doing was basically being the Russell Simmons of the West Coast. You know what I mean? Was because Russell Simmons had Def Comedy Jam in the East Coast, and Guy Tori was just like, well, shit, we need to have another platform for these brilliant comedians to be able to put their shit out there on the other coast. So, I mean, it looks
Spoiler alert. Sorry to cut you off. He named it Fat Tuesdays because of Russell Simmons.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that looks yeah. I think I'm gonna check that out later today or at some point in between watching football. But yeah, I'm gonna give that a look. But it seems to be very interesting. And who knew that little ass Guy Tori was as influential as he was? I never would have thought about it, because I still remember his brother getting kicked in the dick in Poetic Justice. I had it. I got it.
So quick
Can I
question.
tell you one? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Rita. Because I have a question.
There was one joke that a comedian made about Joe and Guy Tori, and he was saying like Joe Tori, they look exactly alike, but the way you could tell them apart is that one of them looks like he's a bodybuilder and the other one looks like he does yoga. I was cracking up because it's accurate AF.
Yeah, that's actually where I was ready to go, because sometimes I used to always get him confused. I'm like, yeah, that was a Guy Tori. No, that was his brother. Man, I don't care. Like, they were. I'm trying to figure out which Wayans is.
What streaming service is it going to be on again?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Okay, yeah, definitely going to check that one out.
So next up, Futurama. So Futurama is coming back, but apparently they don't have the whole entire cast coming in. I forget the guy's name that's playing Bender. What's his name?
The guy the actor who voiced Bender, his name was John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio is not being brought back before the new Futurama because of negotiations have fallen apart, and apparently he thought he was worth X. The company thought he was worth Y. They can't come to an agreement, so he will not be returned.
So will you guys return?
I mean, probably.
I'm gonna watch it. I love Futurama. it was like, I love the show. I quoted all Death by Snoo Snoo. Like, I love that fucking show. But I don't know, Bender was such a huge part of it. Like, I don't know. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I like it. Do we know if Katie Seagal's coming back as Leela?
I believe so.
Okay. I mean, what else is she doing? They ain't doing Sons of Anarchy no more. So
I mean, yeah. So
anybody else want to give thoughts on Futurama?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, just because they're not bringing back John DiMaggio to voice him doesn't mean the Bender isn't coming back. They're gonna have a Bender. It's just not gonna have the same voice. But I mean, for the most part, the same writers and shit will be there. So I think, I mean, it's just gonna be a different voice. It'll just be something that you'll just have to get used to. I mean, like Tom always shows that things change and you just get used to it after a while. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just another one of those things where it's like at first it's a little bit off-putting, but then you know what I mean, as time goes on, it's just like, all right, it's just a different voice. It's fine. Nobody complained when they replaced Meg on Family Guy.
Yeah, I feel like with voice actors, especially when they get replaced, like a lot of times, especially behind the scenes, no one really knows the stories. They'll just say, "Oh, something's different," and they'll just keep it moving. I think the only issue is that because this is so public, that people know for a fact that this is not the same voice for Bender. But voice changes have happened consistently throughout most of, like, you know, animation and anything like that. They'll have like a throw new different voice actor, they couldn't make it, or someone had passed away or something. So it's not out of the ordinary for people to change voices. You know, the character still looks the same, drawn the same, so it's still the same. It's just that it's going to sound like maybe slightly different. Who knows? The guy might do a good Bender impersonation in general and sound just like Joe DiMaggio, who was also a voice of one of the Batman, and I believe it was the Under the Red Hood one. Yeah.
Just imagine Batman saying, "Bite my shiny metal ass."
Oh, alrighty. So moving on. So apparently, Kevin Hart decided to go ahead and give Nick Cannon a gift this past week. That gift said was a condom vending machine. Thoughts on that shit?
I think you should have made a deposit for a vasectomy instead, but that's just me.
I think it's a little too late.
Yeah.
I mean,
now
he's up to number 8, I believe. But I mean, their prank war is pretty funny. That's kind of mild for some of the shit that's been done back and forth between Nick Cannon and Kevin Hart. I mean, I guess it was funny because it was just a big ass pink vending machine full of condoms. But I mean, like they've done some other shit, like Nick Cannon sending him a llama on his birthday, or Kevin Hart posting Nick Cannon's phone number on a billboard for, like, I believe it was 48 hours or something like that. Like that's the shit that we used to. Like, do something like that, or like, you know what I mean? Find out when Nick is going in for like some type of procedure and then make it a vasectomy. You know what I mean? That's the type of that's the type of shit you should be going with. You know what I mean? Like, let's ramp this shit up. Like, that box of condoms is pretty. That's just tame, man. Y'all niggas been doing other crazy shit. Do that. Like, sell one of this nigga's kids into the black market. He ain't gonna miss him.
Lord have mercy.
Oh man, that's anybody else thoughts on that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. But in Blerds and Whiskey news, so the homegirl, Amore Rita, invaded the Trap Nerds podcast the other day. Should be dropping tomorrow, so peep that out. And also, Rick Stroh and myself, we were on Cult 45 podcast, so that drops tomorrow as well. So go and check them out, guys. And that concludes church announcements.
You want to plug the YouTubes that it's going to be on?
Yeah, it said Trap Nerds and Cult 45 on their YouTube page.
Okay.
Or you can look at their Instagram also, the Trap Nerds podcast on IG and Cult 45 podcast on IG for more details. We'll post those links in the group, in the fan group too. So yeah, we're just spreading our blurredom everywhere.
Question: Trap Nerds are the ones that gave us the alert, isn't it? Aren't they?
No, that's Blurred.radio.
Blurred.radio. Okay. Yeah, we try to get
Chicago.
in with everywhere. Okay. Just want to make sure. I was about to say
we'll be back. We'll be making another appearance on that. Well, some of us will, and on behalf of the whole crew.
I ain't gonna lie. All 5 of us trying to be on one podcast, and that's guess. It's just
That's why we got to
much.
spread it out. We got to spread it out.
Well, shout out to Good and Terrible Show for trying that though.
I mean, it worked out.
I think it worked better
fun.
for them, because it was only 2 of them. So but
Checking out the comments over on YouTube. Let's see. Genocide Circuit. I feel good. Shit. Jamaica friend, or they could take the route of him being a robot and say that he was reprogrammed. And Genocide Circus, they'll probably make an episode or 2 making fun of it or explaining Bender's new voice. Cam said, "Boom," like they did with Aunt Viv. Okay, yeah. Well, they didn't explain Aunt Viv. She just came downstairs.
They kept saying, Jazz kept looking at her and be like, "There's something different about you." She's like, "I don't know what she's talking about." And Jazz just kept looking like, "You changed." He's like, "Did you get a haircut?" Just...
Meanwhile, Will is sitting there like.
Suicide Notes on Facebook says, "Guy Tori tried to save us from Nick Cannon's music." And Genocide Circus on YouTube says Nick Cannon is trying to outdo Jim Bob Duggan and Becky and Roseanne. Wow, Duggar. Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, more power to him. He can afford them. Do what you got to do.
Hey, that wild out money is definitely.
I mean, they came back and it's a good show.
You got 8 kids though, and they don't. It's not like they all got the same mama. So you spreading this money out amongst multiple households, unless you want to just be like, "Hey, let's just get one house and be one big happy family." I don't.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wouldn't actually put that past them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either. So
I wouldn't put it past them, but think about first off, we're in a buyer's market right now. If he wanted to buy a house, he could buy a house in different places for a pretty cheap price, considering how much money he has. For regular people, it's going to be more expensive. But for Nick Cannon, $150,000, $250,000 for a house ain't much for him to just write out his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And just buy a house outright.
Okay. I mean, realistically, let's be real. Like, Nick Cannon is successul at, as an entrepreneur and an executive producer and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But he ain't like Bill Gates or the guy Jeff Bezos' money, where he just buy 8 houses for and 8 comfortable houses for people and have them and still chop. I don't think he's that level.
I'm not saying that he's so.
Maybe I don't know.
You can buy a house for $150,000 down in Atlanta, and it'd be an okay house. Like it's just not every house in the country is not $500,000. So he's not spending $500,000 times 8. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he can make it work. And that's if he's buying these women houses or doing the option like you said earlier and having everybody come live in my combine, whatever. Compound. Yes. I had a moment.
Yeah. So, Cam, you got some heat just put up together, right?
Yep. Let's get. I think for the character of the week, it's time to get funky. All right, let's go ahead and roll footage for character of the week. Character of the week. So, today's character week is not a character, it's a movement. It's a cultural phenomenon. Blaxploitation films. Now, I'm specifically trying to say Blaxploitation because I know someone, I'm not going to name names on the show, but they would definitely mess it up. However, I'm here to set the record straight. Blaxploitation is black and exploitation combined because we love making up words. Blaxploitation. It's a black thing. If I had to describe Blaxploitation films, Black AF is the best way I can think of. For us, by us. Now, again, it didn't have a lot of Hollywood glitz and glamour because they wasn't backed up by Hollywood. So they had a lot of DIY, punk, grindhouse style to a lot of the filmmaking. Some records would say Melvin Van Peebles' Sweetback Badass Revenge would be one of the first of the Blaxploitation films. He was a black film director, he was a star. And then you had the classics such as Shaft, Dolomite, Superfly, and my personal favorite, Black Belt Jones. What the 70s is to me is what the 90s is to a lot of the kids nowadays. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love bad movies on purpose. Like I love like low budget films to kind of laugh at sometimes, but you know, especially like how they redid it. And I remember just looking at all these films and kind of just chuckling. In my millennial mindset, I was like, yo, these movies is whack. Why are we all making a big deal about it? And my dad explained to me at the time, yeah, we knew they were bad. We knew they were terrible then too. And I was like, but if they were terrible, why'd y'all support it so much? Or why do y'all go so ham about it? Because back then, that's all we had. So think about that. They knew that these movies were terrible, but that was the only chance that people were going to see black people as lead actors, black people as directors, black soundtracks, black sound designers, black stuntmen. The whole thing was funded and crowdsourced by black people, and the only way that we were ever going to show support to it is by going to the theaters and going crazy over it. I mean, at the time, racial tension was still pretty high, so you're seeing like people on film karate kicking cops. It was a fantasy high that that would never happen in real life, but just to see that stuff played out on the screen was shocking and exhilarating and empowering. You had black women who were doing lead roles, you had black men who were doing lead roles, and what that did, especially with the money, if you know how Hollywood works, it showed Hollywood that there can be black leads and it actually be successful. To this day, the cultural impact of black exploitation films is still felt. Throughout the 80s, there was a couple of them, from parodies like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Black Dynamite, the remake of Superfly, Action Jackson, Original Gangsters. The list can go on as far as black exploitation films that are still happening. But as someone who's a film creator, content creator, a film director, and stuff like that, I definitely salute the black exploitation films. Now, back to the show. Like, share, subscribe. That explains it.
Yeah, so.
Just let your soul go.
So
just let it shine through.
So the funny thing is like I work next to Party City, so I was like, I went there for something, and I looked over, and because I knew we were doing black exploitation for Character of the Week, and I look over, I see like an afro. Well, first I saw the mustache. I was like, I don't need that. I'm like, what is an afro around here? Then I grabbed the first afro I saw, Buyer's Remorse. There was a black one. I ended up getting like the dark brown one. I'm like, all right,
Auburn.
Auburn.
Nah, that brown one is giving a hint more than a black one would have. So yeah, I'm glad you got one with a little color.
Yeah. So you look like, right. I even have the shirt handy. No, the funny part was, as I was filming this, my roommate is like half awake, and then I'm in the living room, and as I turn around, he sees me, and he squares up like, "Yo, what? Oh, it's you." And then he had to think about it. Is this you? Yeah, it's you. Because what ended up happening, see, he's not hungover. He's still drunk from this. He's still legit like just.
Man, just tell us what it is.
No, you gotta watch and see.
Y'all gotta watch.
No,
Blerds and Whiskey, Thirsty Thursdays.
I need help with my concoctions, man.
That's
I
how
can't
we
wait
made
for
the
this
show.
episode.
Yes,
I can't wait. I can't wait because I need to be able to do better than just straight.
Because
I'm gonna be fucked up.
Stop with all the citrus on top of citrus on top of citrus, talking about something that's a tasty beverage.
I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh man.
Okay, so now that we are deep in the middle of the month, something we haven't mentioned many times here is that this is also known as Black History Month. A lot of things going on, a lot of things happening, Black power everywhere. But we also wanted to present a chance for us. We wanted to talk about the do's and don'ts of what you should do during this historic month here in this country. And some of us here have actual lists of do's and don'ts.
Not just the do's. Don't just say just the do's and don'ts. No, white people, this is for you. These are things that you shouldn't do. This is for white people.
So to be more diplomatic, for our Caucasian friends who mean well and get all excited about Black History Month, and they want to they're trying to be supportive and a good ally.
Man, no. Fuck all that.
This is why
white people. This is the rolled up newspaper for you. We're rolling up a newspaper and we're whacking you in the fucking nose with it. This is for you. Stop all that. Not during Black History Month.
Not during any month.
This is actually good.
Not during any month, but specifically Black History Month. Don't do it. Don't do it at all ever. But especially right now.
Looking at you, Nancy Pelosi.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Let's let Rick go first since he is obviously the most distressed of everybody. So
Cool. I'm just gonna start with a simple one. Don't wear kente cloth. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. It's not cool. You don't look fashionable. No, you're not being supportive. You look like a dumbass. You look like a dumbass. Don't do it. Next.
And you're also
Next.
facing us as well. Stop pretending to be the victim.
Okay, I guess I won't go next.
Oh, I didn't hear you say next. My bad. That's my bad. I didn't hear you say it.
You bombs got a whole list. I just want to say one thing.
Nothing can stop the hover knot.
That is a good name for him. I like it. Write that shit down. For me personally, don't try to touch my fucking beard because I spend way too much time cultivating and oiling and struggling with my beard. Okay, it took a while to grow it. A while to get it there, and I use the beard struggle to make that happen. So what you need to do if you want to get a nice, luxurious face full of locks like I have, go on over to our promo page and check out the beard struggle. You can get 50% off your purchase by using the promo code Blerds1, and you can get it growing and you can get it going. So I have grown partial to Azir's Triumph. It's got oud in it. It's got citrus in it, and I fucking love it. So yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question in real life?
Yes.
Did you just say that for the promo purpose, or do white people really just be coming up touching your beard? Like,
you think they don't? When I had dreads, they would just be like, "Oh my God, is this real?" But now that it's on my face,
but your beard, like, who is?
Yes. I've had middle-aged white women who, because you know, I'm not going to say what I do for a living, but I'm going into people's homes to do a service, and I've had people literally, "Oh my God, it's so." Ma'am? Don't effing do that. Don't fucking touch my hair. No, what is the matter with you? Don't touch my face. I don't know where your hand's been. We're in the middle of a pandemic. No, because my beard is hanging out. And they're like, is that like, I will, don't do it. That's my word of advice for you.
I just want to ask one thing. You said that it had citrus in it. So does that explain everything why you keep drinking citrus shit?
No.
Actually, no, it doesn't. Not at all. Not at all, man. Speaking of rolled up newspaper,
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Go ahead and finish your thought, Herb.
No. That's we already said.
There was no thought.
All right. Well, I'll go next because I'll let Cam take the honor of being last. I have two I want to say. I'm trying out Black hairstyles. Like, you decide you want to get some box braids for Black History Month, and I'm like, no, just don't do that. Yeah. Don't. And then also telling other Black people that you have Black friends. Your coworker at your job is not your friend just because y'all talk to each other and you might follow each other on Instagram. Nobody cares if you have Black friends or not. We don't care. Black people are not going around saying, "Oh, I have white friends." We're not advertising that. So why do you have to advertise that you have Black friends? I don't get it. But that's just me.
I got one more thing. Does anybody?
No, go ahead. You already started talking.
If something seems a bit racist, don't do it or just ask. For instance, if it's National Watermelon Day, don't celebrate that shit. If it's National Chicken Day, don't do that shit.
There's a National Chicken Day?
Yes,
Bro,
there
is.
Just
talking out your ass. Like, is this shit for real?
Yes, it is, because I have a friend that actually dealt with that shit. So yeah. Just don't do it. If it seems a bit racist, don't do that shit.
So What's an example of if they think it's a bit racist, or if it's a bit racist and they don't check because they still go through
Wednesday, July 6th is National Fried Chicken Day. Oh my God.
OCG, go ahead. You OCG's turning his mic on. Let's go ahead. Let's do this.
We have allies that genuinely they're just unaware. All right, they don't mean anything by it, but this is why we're doing this. We have to teach you. Yeah, National Watermelon Day. Don't make a social media post about it, regardless of what color your county votes for. So that's it. I'm done.
Awesome.
There's a National Chicken Month, September. What the? Okay, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I don't need to see anymore. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't even want to know the history behind the shit. But keep going, Herb.
I was about to say, are we gonna let Cam go?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait 3 seconds. Okay. So I had to look both ways before I talk on the show. No, for real. This the problem is that a lot of times, like we've said, sometimes they mean well. It's just like I understand, like, in the base of what they're doing is well intentions. However, during Black History Month, I've learned a lot of things. I don't need you to come to me and tell me, hey, did you know about such and such happened in Atlanta? The first Black person to go to Alaska and let his teeth. Yeah, I did know. You didn't. This is for you to find out. I already knew this. This is my history. You should partake in it. Also, don't try to change anything on your social media just because it's the month of people, as we're now being in a focus. Don't try to change your social media's algorithm to try to fit this narrative to show exactly like you're progressive. You look more performative than progressive. I don't want to go to your house and find out that your Wi-Fi password is Black Wi-Fi's matter. Like, that's just crap we don't need. It's not doing us any good. Yeah, I'm dead. I will show you the screenshot of Black Wi-Fi's matter as the internet. We don't need this pandering. I'm sure you thought this was a cool thing to do because it's this month, but nah, that's definitely a don't. Because it comes off as disingenuous, and I have to second guess a lot of things that you do or say from that point on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick.
I also had another one that I wanted to mention because I thought we were going to keep going around because everybody get through a couple topics. But I also have another one. Middle-aged white men. No, I don't care about your favorite football team. No, I don't want to talk to you about football at all the time. And no, just because I am in Baltimore, Washington International Airport does not mean that I play for the fucking Ravens. I could be a big cellist. I could be a reporter. I could be a fucking chemical engineer. Just because I am over 6'3" and I'm 300 whatever, it does not mean that I am a fucking football player or that I want to talk to you about football. Leave me the fuck alone.
Oh, there's another one. Sorry, that I wanted to add in. White men, since we're talking about white men. It is not National Take a Black Woman on a Date Month. I have seen that. I have seen it. No, I'm not making this up. Like, I have seen that where it's like, take a Black woman on a date. Like, if you're a single white male and you've never dated a Black woman before, they were like, well, this is the perfect time to try and show your ally by taking a Black woman on a date. No, bitch, don't do that shit. I don't.
That bitch came from a place of
heart.
Right, that came from like the cockles of her heart, and she said, "Bitch."
I will say this though: their counterparts keep that same energy year round because my DMs look crazy.
Yeah, I've been that the do's and don'ts.
They stay in the DMs.
I don't even know. The do's is pretty much just like the do's and the don'ts are pretty much roughly the same. It's like we're telling you what to do is don't do any of this stuff. Because
White
Trying to
women
think
don't
of-
look my way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other things that. Yeah. During this month, don't tell me that my history is interesting. Like that word just bothers me more than anything else. Like, wow, I did not know that this has happened. That's interesting. Like it's facts. It's history. It's legacy. It's our legacy. It's
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Also, Jim Crow was not that long ago. Slavery, literally, in the grand scheme of things, was not that long ago. Please don't say that ignorant ass comment like, oh, that was so long ago, you guys should move past it. Excuse me. Your grandparents are the ones who were throwing shit and yelling at Ruby Bridges when she was trying to go to school when school were integrated. And now they're the main ones bitching and complaining about us trying to teach little stupid ass grandkids about the fact that y'all were doing that dumb ass shit back then. So please keep your ignorant ass comments to yourself.
I find it funny that the tactic that they use for stuff like that is to make the pictures black and white to make it look like it was a long time ago, when in actuality it was like maybe at best like 30, 40 years ago.
How about most of our parents and grandparents were born, and most of them, not all, but most of us can at least say we have a parent or a grandparent who was born in the midst of Jim Crow. So please don't try to make it seem like we're that far removed, because we're not. But before we go too far, I want to tell some people, yeah, we're telling you what not to do, but let me give you some advice on what to do. Donate to a Black organization, after school programs, donate to, homeless shelters or women's groups or any type of organization whose purpose and soul is to uplift some type of Black, lives of Black children, Black communities, something along those lines. Do some type of donation to that, and don't advertise that you did it so you can get credit for it, because it just sounds like you did it just for recognition. Please don't do that. Also, another thing that you can do is shop Black-owned businesses. Support or advertise Black-owned businesses, podcasts, whether television shows, restaurants, whatever. Another thing you can do, and this is the number one thing, is that you can call and write to your federal legislators in support of the Bipartisan Justice Safety Valve Act, which allows judges to not enforce mandatory minimums for first offenders. That is something that you can definitely do, because white people, you need to use your whiteness sometimes to help somebody other than yourself. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Herb, because you look like you're dying.
No. I don't have anything to follow that.
Cool. I'm gonna end it with the one do that you all should do during this month, all the 12 months, 365, all of it. Shut the fuck up. All right, I'm done. And on that note.
All right. So, last topic of the day: Black cards revoked. So, we've talked about our 8.5 by 11 counterparts here in this country, and now we're going to talk about ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen here, you know what? I kind of see this as a bad thing for me, because I'm going to get my Black card revoked. How would you suggest that a Black card gets revoked?
Why don't you tell us, Trey?
I don't know, because
you go first.
So why shouldn't I have a Black card? I listen to rock and roll music, I guess. I don't know. I don't listen to rap. I can't name the top 40 rappers of all time. Only reason why I know about Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and that whole thing is because of the movies that I've seen with them in. What else? I don't know.
Well,
then you act like you don't understand why your DM is flooded by people of the Bayesian persuasion. But
I never said I don't understand it. I see it. It is what it is. Like, hey.
I mean, here's just one throwing out there. Not knowing how to play spades.
I do know how to do that. I get that reference.
I'm not a great spades player, and no one has taught me, as many of y'all know at cookouts. No one teaches.
Nobody.
You just kind of observe and you try to figure out the rules, and then you get cursed out for a few years, and then you eventually stop getting cursed out because you start becoming good. I just stopped. I stopped at getting cursed out. I was like, you know what, this ain't fun, and I got past that since. But ironically, like, because I went to public school, I know how to play tongue. so I don't know, where's my black card lie on that level.
So the whole spades thing is always a sensitive subject to me, right?
It is.
Because I know how to play a little bit, you know what I mean? But like I'm not like, but every time I sit down, it's because I carry myself with a certain level of confidence. People get mad when I make these certain mistakes. And if you all know me, you know I don't react well to people flipping out on me about shit that I don't know. So I just avoid playing the game, period. Because I get tired of flipping people's fucking tables over because you're yelling at me about some stupid shit. Also, I never really learned how to play Tonk because I don't give a fuck. But sorry, I just wanted to interject that real quick. We can get going.
This is why he's not allowed to play spades at the family cookouts. He will flip the table on your 80-year-old grandmother. I'm dead ass serious.
It happens sometimes.
Okay.
3.
For me, a thing that can get your black card revoked is being a fan of pumpkin pie. I just feel like, what? Like when you be like, oh, pumpkin pie is better than sweet potato pie. Like,
Oh, no.
I would prefer you say you don't like either one. But if you say it's better than sweet potato pie, I'm gonna have to snatch your black card. I'm sorry. It belongs to me now. That's or saying you don't like baked macaroni and cheese. Like
What other is there? Like, how you gonna cook? What do you do? Microwave it? Like, what do you mean you don't like baked mac and cheese?
We've all seen the videos. We've all seen the videos of those horrible abominations that certain people have put together. And we've been present for some, where some use craft crackers and put them on top of. We've been there.
Goldfish.
Yeah, goldfish. Yes. Like, no. No, on the food side of the game, I've got my black card intact. The only thing I'm not eating is chitlins. That's the only thing I'm not eating. That's it. You can have my black card. I don't care.
I don't like chitlins either.
I think the generation, like maybe some of Gen X, but definitely millennial black people, were breaking generational curses and not eating chitterlings.
Yeah.
Ooh, so checking out the comments on Facebook, Jacqueline Agee says, take my black card because I've never seen any of the Fridays movies. Wow, I've seen all of those, so I do have the black card.
You're going to have to turn that.
Wow.
You definitely going to have to turn that.
Also,
I need that ASAP.
Wow.
Alicia Placido says, black card revoked. I don't like grits and I've never seen Purple Rain. Now, I have never seen Purple Rain, but I love grits, but I like sweet grits.
How do you hate grits? It's just oats and it's a grain. Like like you like rice. How do you hate grits?
Some people
Okay.
some people like the consistency.
So I'm on the fence with grits because an argument that has been going on for all Black history.
Here we go.
Going back 400 years is, do you put salt on your grits or do you put sugar on your grits? And that has been a very highly publicized.
I'm team salt.
And I'm team sugar.
Sugar.
I mean,
all right, y'all, up to it.
Retro.
Brown sugar and a little bit of butter. Always.
You're eating
brown
cream
sugar and
of
a little bit. Hey, listen, shut your mouth. All right. Malcolm Little. Calm it down over there.
I choose porridge over grits any day, though.
Okay,
What?
give me your black card. Go over
This
here.
nigga
Actually,
over here listening, Les Miserables and shit.
Nope. Cornmeal porridge is a Jamaican dish for breakfast. Thank you, assholes.
Dude.
All right, well, I guess
It's a hard knock life.
What Goldilocks is eating.
It's a hard knock life.
That's what I think
Portray.
about.
Steady gritting. We get porridge.
Straight over there, like, oh, this porridge is too hot. Like,
My bear. It is what it is.
Dear Trey's future wife.
So I got one. Calling Kool-Aid the actual flavors instead of their colors.
That's not even a black card revoke. You a cop if you refer to this as proof. You're a cop, man.
We get that wild berry.
Untrustworthy. If you say, do you
Right.
have any cherry Kool-Aid?
You mean
what? No.
All right.
Hello,
I don't
fellow.
understand.
Hello,
Though. How
fellow
can wild berry have red cherries on it but come up like electric blue? Like,
All right,
Oh,
so I'm gonna say this. Y'all gonna have to take my black card on that one because I refuse to use that color shit. No, I want to know the actual fucking flavor. I'm not gonna
Red.
say I want
Red
some
is a
lemonade.
flavor.
I'm not gonna say give me the clear Kool-Aid. No, nigga, give me the lemonade Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna do that.
that's a
I
specific
think
flavor.
lemonade one was probably the only one we actually used the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you ever just make lemonade Kool-Aid? Wouldn't you add another flavor into it?
Nah, I like.
So
lemonade.
wait. Time out.
I'd be
One
fixing-
pack of Kool-Aid or 2 packs of Kool-Aid in your picture.
Always
3
two. God damn, diabetes.
I need 3 packs.
3 packs.
Okay.
3
All right.
Kool-Aid is
I
3
needed
cups of
3
sugar.
packs, and I needed half a bag of sugar. Period.
God damn.
There we go.
Look, you know what?
There we go.
Sharita was that little boy that was next to the little boy in house party and shit. Like, yeah, more sugar, nigga. Get the upper bag out the closet. Get the upper bag.
No, I mean, that was back in the day. You know, I have since earned a little coin, and we no longer on that good SNAP. Even though I wish I did have a SNAP benefit or two, but back in the day, you know, when you was on that SNAP situation and people was thirsty all the time, that was your options. You would go and buy like 50 different packs of Kool-Aid. And then if you had multiple jugs, you would have different flavors going on, colors going on all at the same time. And then the best struggle was when you would get a cup and freeze that bitch and put it in the freezer for a little while.
And get a slushy.
Man.
Yep.
So real quick, who else, when you would go to the grocery store with your mother when you was little, she would like, go get some Kool-Aid, and they would have it to 10 for 10 or whatever, and you would get 10 packs, and you walk around like you was doing this for money and shit?
Yep. I got Kool-Aid.
So,
All right, so
I don't know.
ginger ale. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. I don't know if this is necessarily a black card revocation as far as Kool-Aid goes. I'm not going to name names of who this person is because they are on this panel. But I do recall. Okay, fine. I was trying to be diplomatic. All right. So one time I was over at Trey's house, and he made Kool-Aid, and as he poured it, I could see the bottom of the cup. I was like, man, if you don't get some sugar in this thing. I'm like, what am I, psycho?
You think my fat ass didn't use enough sugar?
It wasn't
Bro,
like a sugar film at the bottom.
No, it was straight up like it was like, you know, like the glass had a red tint. That's what it looked like. I'm looking at the bottom.
I want y'all to look me in my
cup.
face and tell me you think my fat ass ain't put enough sugar in the goddamn Kool-Aid.
So,
I want y'all to look me in the eye
did.
and see and ask me if I'm lying, since someone already admitted that it was them when I
Because you the only person, we was the only person on the panel that was roommate. Well, me and
So
Rick, but still.
listening to this conversation right now, I'm to understand that I'm the only person that's gonna be in their 50s with both of their feet on this panel. What I'm hearing is all of y'all niggas gonna be walking around at 40 talking about I got the sugars. I got to take my shots.
No, because we're making life changes. We're making life changes right now.
Because we got off Snap when I was like 10 years old. So we started drinking regular juice at that time. So we good now. We good.
And also, truth be told, I don't think any of us are actually going to go down that route, having the sugars, because as part of our sponsorship, we all participate in FNX Fit. So if you want to have both your feet by the time you're 45, you go on blerdsandwhiskey.com. You go to our promo page or partners page, and you look up, and you type in the code, you go to this webpage, FNX Fit, you type in FNX, capital FNX, Blerds13, and then you get yourself some pre-workout, some post-workout, so you can actually get a healthier lifestyle to combat the 40 years of sugar that you've been partaking in.
Okay, true shit. I have a question, and this is a live on-air question, and if you answer wrong, your black card is getting taken. Ready for the question?
Okay,
Shoot.
I'm ready.
If you come home with a stomach ache, what flavored ginger ale are you supposed to drink? And is it supposed to be cold or room temperature? Herb, you go first.
Room temperature regular. Canada Dry.
Okay. Trey.
Room temperature.
Is that sweat? Give me the
Who
comment.
drinks?
Nobody is drinking Schweppes. Nobody is
Who drinks Schweppes?
Clearly, the guy who had the bottle.
When you said flavor, I was sort of thinking like, I mean, I know they just recently came up with other flavors, but I mean, as a kid, I didn't think we had
You know what I
options.
mean.
It was
I'm thinking
brand. It was brand. That's what I was
brand.
Who was
Okay.
drinking Schweppes?
I'll say it was all Canada Dry. We all that's the only thing in the aisle. Like no one gets Schweppes. Schweppes just tastes weird. Schweppes has like it's kind of like Canada Dry just has like a certain like zest to it, you know. Schweppes.
And then it's in a bottle. It's supposed to be in a can. Go ahead, Rick.
Mhm.
I already have my black card right here, so
this nigga pulled out an actual card. So yes, of course, as always, it's room temperature Canada Dry, and you also supposed to take a nap in the dark room.
With at least one pack of saltine crackers.
Yes, dude.
That's
I forgot about that.
Well,
But
the
you
Price is Right
definitely
is
not
playing.
supposed to have a bottle of Schweppes. Like that's supposed to do something.
I knew where this was going. It is
But you try?
Put it out boldly too.
Hey,
Schweppes.
hey, comic box on YouTube said, "Bruh, not the Schweppes."
Whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
He said, not the Schweppes.
You get your black card revoked if you don't wash the chicken.
Doesn't
Yeah.
do
So,
that.
so here my question. Yeah, I've actually had this debate with so many of my palm colored friends.
8.5 by 11s.
8.5 by 11s when it comes to like the concept of washing chicken. Can we just go ahead and just explain what we mean by washing chicken? Because some people actually think we put in soap and water. Some people thinking like, you know, we put like the faucet on blast and then rinse the chicken. I'm like, well, that's how you spread the germs and stuff on your counter. You idiot. You put it on a low flow, but whatever. So you know, let's go ahead and break down what washing your meats is all about and why we do this.
So in a slaughterhouse, they aren't very sanitary when they're cutting up the chickens after they slaughter them. So you have, in addition to entrails, you have blood, you have animal feces, you have everything that on the chicken. They give it a quick rinse before they package it, but it ain't thorough. So your job is to turn the water on cold, rinse it off, rub it down, but you don't turn the blast, you don't turn it on blast like Cam said, you rinse off your chicken to get anything excess off. And if you are curious, put a white bowl underneath your chicken as you're rinsing it off, and you can see everything that's coming off of it. You don't use soap because then you're contaminating your food. You're killing any bacteria, but you're going to end up killing your dang old self. But you rinse it off for that reason.
Most times you
use a little lemon juice. That helps. And then also take off the feathers.
Oh yeah.
No, please.
They don't fully pluck them
Nobody
chickens.
wants a feather. So please do that. And cut
So
off the excess, you know, fat and other like, you know, those bristles that you'll find sometimes. You got to cut that part off. Like you don't just cook the chicken as is.
Unless it's thighs and you're like baking the thighs and you want to keep some of the juices in
But
from
you
the fat
know, like
burning
with
off.
the breast, sometimes you'll get that really hard piece, that white,
Yeah.
you know, that white trim,
Yeah, you cut
whatever
that
it
out.
is.
Or that whole chicken where that little piece like right above where the neck is, like you know, people like
Right.
cook that with the neck on. I'm like, that's not a seal. Like, you know,
So-
what do you
So are we going to be celebrating Wednesday, January 6th? National Chicken Day?
Absolutely.
Bro.
It falls on January 6th.
anyway. So I'm sorry.
July 6th, sorry, July 6th.
So quick question. Other than meats, does anyone else like wash like other things? Like comic books just pointed out, like, you know, people wash fruits, they wash vegetables. I personally started, like, I think maybe like within like the past 10, 15 years, I was washing rice. You know, a lot of people didn't even know about that whole thing. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I always kind of figured, because when I asked, like, do you wash your rice? People are like, what for? It's in a bag. You know, like, what do you mean it's in a bag? You know what rice comes from?
But
Start
a lot of people just had that Uncle Ben's white bag that you just boil in the pot. Some people had that. And they had the instant rice. So we didn't know about washing the rice. I know it now because now I buy my own rice and I get it in a big ass bag and I gotta wash it before I cook it. But we didn't. I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but some people didn't know that. I didn't know that. Not with the Uncle Ben's.
Yeah, you don't really wash minute rice.
Last two ones. First off, if you don't, I didn't. I'm looking down. Go ahead, Rick. I didn't see you. I'm looking down. Just because I have my shades on, I'm looking.
Then you superseded by going last two ones. I have the last word. It's me. It's the herb or not. So, things that will get your black card revoked: wearing corduroys and Birkenstocks.
Shit.
Hey, you know what? That's something I just hear. I don't know what the fuck a Birkenstock is. I don't know what it is.
It's a shoe. It's those shoes that you see the white boys with the corduroys wearing, and like they wear the shits. They wear the joint tied around their neck. It was an Undercover Brother when he was in like
Undercover Brother.
No, Birkenstocks are shoes. They're actual. They're like those sandals, those Jesus sandals that you see him wearing, and they also have like a hiking shoe. If you wear those shits, hey, give it to me.
That's full on Carlton.
Go ahead, Herb.
You don't season your chicken. That just should be. It really should have been number one, in my opinion.
Season your food, period.
Yeah.
All foods. Like, have you ever like?
And wait. We need to explain. When we say seasoning, we mean more than salt and pepper.
Spicy.
Not just pinches.
Well, I'm
like
gonna need you to have more than just that in the house, okay?
So
let's put it this way: if there's not an entire cabinet in your home dedicated to spices and seasonings, something is wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
All I needed was seasonal. The fuck?
So funny. So I have a funny anecdote about that whole seasoning thing, because it's like, like if all else fails, like for Black people, we always have like Lawry seasoned salt. I know for the for the Hispanic community is Goya adobo. But my friend asked me, what do white people have? I started laughing because they don't. But then I thought about it. I said, I guess their go-to seasoning for like the one for all is Mrs. Dash. Because you don't see that in a lot of Black households. Mrs. Dash.
I don't even know what that is.
If you see it in a white household or a Black household, it's because somebody's like a diabetic. To be fair,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So speaking of that, there's this funny clip, right, of a UFC fighter, who's just been knocked out by Jake Woodley, Tyrone Woodley, and he had this white fighter named Sage Northcutt who was training with him, right, and Tyrone was pan-searing some chicken, and he seasoned one side of it with just some salt, pepper, and garlic, and then flipped it over, and Sage looked at him and stopped him. He goes, "Wait, you're gonna do the other side?" And Tyrone looked at him and was like, yeah. And Sage goes,
wait, you only do one side?
Hold on. Sage goes, wait, I'm scared. And Tyrone's like, no, it'll be all right. He seasoned it, pan-seared it, and then they take it out and he starts cutting it. He's like, I don't know, man. This seems a little scary. And then he eats it and goes, wow, that's really good. And Tyrone's like,
fist bump and everything. That's pretty dang good.
Man, so yeah, that's actually a new frontier for them. Like, they get kind of scared when you start adding extra seasonings and doing it on both sides.
But the whole purpose of them coming to this continent is because they were looking for spices. I don't get it.
So Genocide Circus asks, but which Goya adobo? And I'm like, I would say.
Okay, so there are multiples. I have multiples. You got to get the one with saffron in it. You got to get the regular one so let me put it this way in nigga terms. The one with the yellow, the red top. That one, the one with the green top, okay, that's the good one for chicken and stuff like that, and vegetables and shit. The red top is universal, and then the one with sazon, that's the one. That's the one right there. I personally, when I season my chicken, I use regular adobo, sazon, and I don't use Lawry's, but I do use Murray's seasoning salt. That's I feel like I got Lawry's, for specific things, but my go-to for me is Murray's. And yes, I said Murray's because I'm from Maryland.
Have you all had the for Goya adobo? There's a marinade too, in several colors too, like the red, the yellow, and the green one. The green one is the one I mainly use for when I do steaks and stuff, because it has that gives it that the carne asada. Yeah, that one's a good one too.
I make my own mojo. You know, some of us just out here living right. You know how it is.
May have to try some of that then.
Yes.
And don't get Goya. Get the one with a B. Shit, I can't think of the name.
One with the B?
Yeah, it's got the white label. I know what you're talking about. They got their stuff got the white label on it. Yeah,
don't get Goya because Goya is racist and we talk about Black History Month. Don't get that. I think it's Beta or something like that. I can't think of the full name of it right now, but get that.
It's Badia. Beadia.
How you doing? All right, y'all.
It's been very knowledgeable today. Yeah, so let's end it off right. As always, guys, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink,
motherfucker, drink.
Like, share,
Thirsty
subscribe.
Thursdays.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.